Will lawyers are privileged to work with all kinds of families in order to plan and protect their futures. We have many tools in our box to use to this end. The most famous, perhaps, is the will. We've all seen them, especially in dramas and soap operas. Useful plot points aside, wills serve many critical functions. I and other lawyers have the best information about how to use a will to protect your assets, wishes, and the people you love. Regarding the type of wills you can use, for example, did you know there were actually 3? Only self-proving will really meet the legal requirements of a will. This means it was written, signed, and properly witnessed. Then there's the holographic will, handwritten and without witnesses. This might come about if you're alone, facing death, and quickly write out a will. There's very little chance of validity there. The third type is the oral will, where someone orally states their wishes. Once again, there's very little chance of that will being upheld. There are other requirements in addition to being a self-proving will that a will needs to meet. I mentioned movies before. They usually start out with a dramatic reading of the will with the phrase, being of sound mind and body. Well, what qualifies as sound mind? First, the person must know what a will is and be at least 18 years old. Some exceptions may be made for emancipated minors. Likewise, the individual must know they're making a will and understand the relationship between self and those providing care. To help clarify you're of sound mind, include in the document that you understand it is indeed a will. The will also needs to do one or more of 3 things: list who inherits certain items, appoint guardians for any minor children, and specify what happens to property not specifically named. An executor must also be named and placed in charge of taking care of the estate and carrying out the obligations and wishes. Finally, the will is signed, dated, and attested by 2 or 3 witnesses, normally non-relatives. Your will most obviously allows your executor to know your wishes, but there are also other purposes, such as simplifying the probate process. If you don't have a will, or just want to know if yours is still valid in Georgia, we invite you to call our will lawyers and schedule an appointment. Initial consultations are usually $300, but we'll waive that fee when you mention this video. Just call 912-352-3999.